What is up, guys? This is Chase Oliver 68 here, and you know what? I'm gonna do another new series on my channel. I'm doing the classic pay-per-view reviews. Although views are not really successful, comments are being very successful. People want to see certain pay-per-views reviewed, and I really like that. Thank you all for that. And so I'm gonna try something out. There's a lot of YouTube shooters out there that people don't know about, or people do know about them and they just don't subscribe to them. And you know what? If you find new shooters, you should just subscribe to them and give them support. I subscribe to a lot of people. I watch their videos. Believe it or not, people, some of you guys that have channels, I am subscribed to you. I just don't always like or comment the videos. Sometimes, because my likes go to Twitter and I don't want people to say, why are you liking these random YouTube videos? My comments, I just don't, sometimes the video's too good at where I just don't comment, or there's not an argument where I really want to start with you guys because really there's nothing really to comment on that video. But there's certain YouTube shooters out there, and if you are someone who likes to do videos on wrestling, hit me up with this with your Skype. My Skype is Chase Oliver 68. Add me. Make sure you have a mic. Make sure you have a functioning Skype, and we can do this. And my first guest is none other than I think he's in Mitch's group, Roll Nation Wrestling. I don't know if that's what it's called, Wrestling Guru Society. Calamania '07, I think one-time Wrestling Gurus champion. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Thanks so much, Chase, for the intro and allowing me to come and speak with your viewers. And yeah, like I said, I am from Wrestling Guru Society. My name is Dallas, YouTube name Calamania 007. And yeah, it's
Job
great
in
to be on your
description and
program, Chase.
annotation. Yeah, pretty much this is all about him. These videos are not about me talking about the subject. I'll put my inputs on it, but pretty much it's about him. And that's what the thing I want to get out there is that it's about you guys. You guys should be able to have a voice too. And sometimes people don't read your comments. So pretty much these are three topics. They're all in the video title. And the first topic we're going to talk about, which I'm surprised no one really has talked about in the YouTube society, like there hasn't been much videos on it. And I don't know if it's because he wasn't really that big in his time in WWE, but Kenny Dykstra's tweets and airing out dirty laundry on John Cena. Now, Dallas, what do you think about Kenny Dykstra doing this? Do you think it's a good move, a bad move by Kenny Dykstra? Do you think this is him blowing off steam? Like, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, just to kind of do a little bit of an intro, Twitter has been like, we're now in the reality era, I like to consider it. Twitter is a massive WWE foundation.
Uh,
Anytime a superstar wants to talk about something, bring something to the table, it allows people to read into certain superstars when Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown isn't on. Now, talking about Kenny Dykstra, obviously there's some internal heat between both John Cena and Kenny Dykstra. I personally haven't read or watched the video, I think the rant that he was talking about doing, but I know there's been certain situations that he talks about Mickey James, other situations between him and John Cena. Now, one thing that I do want to make known, let's look at Alberto Del Rio and The Miz, for example. There was
mm-hmm.
kind of a bunch of heat between them two. We don't really necessarily know what's true, what's not, what happened backstage. It's all basically it's one-sided. We know that John Cena hasn't really made a rebuttal to what Kenny Dykstra's comments are, so it's really hard for me to base my opinions on John Cena just because Kenny Dykstra says he may be, oh, he's a loser, or here's all the dirt that he's done, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As far as just to kind of continue on that, I think one of the main issues was between Mickey James. There was maybe kind of a three-way relationship, almost kind of like an Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy type situation, if you will. And it's very hard for me to really base a final opinion just because Kenny Dykstra says, "Oh, he took Mickey James away from me," or anything like that. Ultimately, if a WWE diva is going to sleep with a superstar and she may be dating somebody else, ultimately that's kind of her prerogative. She's
Mm-hmm.
made the bad move, and he should just, it's relationship ending is hard, move on. But it's hard for me. I'd like to see what John Cena's rebuttal will be if he even chooses to make remarks on Kenny Dykstra's comments.
I think Cena, the thing is, I just don't think Cena would actually make a rebuttal against Kenny Dykstra because, like, he has an image to protect, and especially on Twitter. I mean, it's not like he's going to feud with Kenny Dykstra. I think it's because WWE is probably like saying, oh, don't worry about it. But there's been some superstars like Shad Gaspard and former WWE creatives that are actually saying, oh, Kenny Dykstra's saying the true thing. So I really don't know what to say about the situation. If you guys have any thoughts on the situation, you guys comment down below what you guys think about it. I'm just surprised no one's been talking about it because it's actually kind of interesting to think about, like, is this true or is this not? Now, next up is about Rey Mysterio. We all know he's coming back from injury and a 60-day suspension. Well, what are your thoughts about the whole Rey Mysterio injury? And there's been talks about getting a push for him. Do you think Rey Mysterio really deserves this push? Do you think Rey's past his prime? Like, what are your overall thoughts on it?
Well,
On Rey right
this
now?
this is it's a really good question, and honestly, there's so much to say about this. 60-day suspension, then of course his knee injury. First of all, Rey Mysterio as a whole is not as I don't find him to be as exciting and entertaining as what he was back when. With all due respect to Eddie Guerrero, I think Rey Mysterio kind of took the bull by the horns. He did become the world heavyweight champion shortly after Rey Mysterio's passing
You mean
or
Eddie's
pardon me, Eddie
passing?
Guerrero's passing,
Yeah.
and then of course he went from there. Rey Mysterio has been one thing that I kind of have an issue with. He's been complaining about oh well, I deserve a push here, I deserve a push there. He'll rant on and on certain WWE insider websites. Will talk a lot about Rey's personal feelings towards this. They've been talking about pushes for Rey. What was it? I think maybe 4 or 5 months ago there was kind of on one of the insider websites of the dirt sheets they were talking about, oh yeah, Rey Mysterio is going to be getting a push, going to be getting a push, and yet in my opinion it never came into fruition, and he never received that push. A lot of his promos, things like that, it's he's very he kind of does the same routine over and over again. I don't want to compare him to John Cena's 7 years of the same old shit, so to speak, but he hasn't really done anything
Yeah.
to make himself relevant. Kind of take CM Punk's, that whole promo where he talked about Vince McMahon dying, and that changed him, and now he's almost the face of World Wrestling Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio needs to find something. He's very talented, the lucha libre style, everything like that. He needs to find something, get his game face on, needs to say to himself, okay, I'm not going to quit, or say I'm going to quit and rant just because I'm not getting the push I feel I deserve. Work for it and make it happen.
Yeah, the one thing that interested me about Rey Mysterio was that he was talking about he wanted a contract like John Cena's, and then I was thinking to myself, well, if you're Rey Mysterio and you have the contract that he has now, like this contract that I read was like back in 2007, it was like he was getting 600,000 a year, but plus he was getting 80% of all his merchandise. So I'm thinking to myself, Ray sells a shitload of merchandise. I know it's mostly little kids and maybe dads that love him. My dad's a huge Rey Mysterio fan. I'm a huge Rey Mysterio fan, but it's like he makes so much money off his merchandise. I swear to God, when you watch Raw, even when he's not fucking there, you will see at least 8 or 10 people wearing Rey Mysterio masks. So I don't know why he wants a new contract. His push type of thing. If Rey's keep getting injured, if Rey's always injury prone, I don't think he deserves a push. I think Rey should be helping other younger guys because Rey is such an established name in the company that it doesn't matter about his size. I mean, people always talk about the size of a wrestler. If Cody Rhodes beats a Rey Mysterio, that's more memorable than him being a fucking Big Show. Let me just say that because Rey Mysterio is on a higher marquee level than a fucking Big Show. I mean, Big Show is a talented wrestler. He's a talented big man that came into the business, but Rey Mysterio has more of a marquee level, more of a well-known level. I mean, if I ask casual fans, if they knew these wrestlers, and if I said Rey Mysterio, Big Show, I'm pretty sure most casual fans will say Rey Mysterio. But then again, I live in California, and he is not the most popular guy in the 619, but he's pretty darn popular, especially in the Hispanic region when it comes down to it. But I agree, Rey needs to reinvent himself when it comes down to the promos because Rey's promos is always like, "I'm gonna hit you with the 619." It's like, yeah, that's cute and all, Rey, but what more do you have for me? Like, what is it with the 619 that's so impressive? Like, I mean, most lucha libres do it anyways. But that's a good point about Rey Mysterio. I would like to see him reinvent himself. I'm not saying turn heel because I do not want to see WCW Rey again. That was just terrible. If you haven't seen it yet, Dallas, just type into promos with Billy Kidman and you will say, "Do not turn heel, Rey." And also, he was had no mask at the time. But good points about Rey Mysterio. Now we go on to Sheamus. Now, the World Heavyweight title run of Sheamus, I have seen many YouTube videos on it. I want to know what are your thoughts on Sheamus being world champion? Is it going to be a successful run, or do you think this is a bad run for Sheamus? This is one of his worst runs. And what do you think is his best run as champion, even though he hasn't had many good ones?
Okay, this is another topic that I could talk for hours on, but I'm going to keep it short and to the point as much as I can. Sheamus's title run, I think the biggest thing why people, and this isn't fair to him, but why people started to really get off the Sheamus bandwagon, so to speak, was the fact that he beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 28 in
Agreed.
18 seconds. The crowd at WrestleMania 28 was so Daniel Bryan positive. They were for Daniel Bryan. He was amazingly over with the crowd, and he had a really decent title run with the World Heavyweight title. And just to lose to Sheamus in 18 seconds was everybody was just blown away and didn't understand that. Now I know Vince McMahon is, as far as Sheamus's title run, he's since he turned face, he's been very active with the Make a Wish Foundation or Stop Bullying, that kind of campaign, Be a Star, and he's made a lot of impact, and a lot of little younger children are connecting with him, and he's made really, like, he's definitely brought his point across and connected with a lot of his fans. So Vince McMahon figures, well, great, he could be a huge, he could be the next face of the Make a Wish Foundation, because maybe John Cena's busy or whatever. It's good to have
Yeah,
more,
exactly.
more people involved with that. As far as his title run, he looks like he can work good in the ring, but people are just, they're not connecting with him because it's not as relevant. He beats whoever, but like when he had a match with Daniel Bryan the second time where the title was on the line, and of course Daniel Bryan did not win, Sheamus retained. That was a great match, but people were still so concentrated on what Sheamus did to Daniel Bryan, completely squashing him in 18 seconds, that people are not appreciating his title run. And you look on YouTube, and you ask 75% of the people, they're going to say, you know what, no, Sheamus should not be World Heavyweight Champion. Daniel Bryan should be in that spot. And that's really kind of the bottom line.
Yeah, see, I agree with you there because the thing is, I don't think many people hate Sheamus. I think people do like Sheamus. They like who he is. They like what he can do in the ring. I just don't think that what they did to put the world title on him was the smartest decision because when you see that 18 seconds, it's like, really, why would I want to pay to see Daniel Bryan and Sheamus again? And then when you actually see the Extreme Rules match, it's like, what the fuck? Why didn't we get this at WrestleMania? I mean, that was a really good match. It's one of the top matches in the WWE. Me personally, I like Sheamus and Bryan 2 out of 3 falls more than some of the Punk and Bryan matches, minus the Over the Limit match. I mean, that was a really good match. And also when Sheamus came out with the 18 seconds shirt, that really just showed that Sheamus was like, oh, I beat you in 18 seconds. So it's like, what is he gonna beat him in 36 seconds now because it's 2 out of 3 falls? I mean, what's the deal here? I mean, really, it's just like, to me, I think many people, they do like who Sheamus is. They do like that he's a wrestler. They just don't like this world title run. And to me, this world title run, it kind of feels in a John Cena way where it's like, I can't picture someone beating this guy one on one in that ring. Do you feel like anyone can beat Sheamus one on one in that ring? Like right now, how he's being booked, how he's undefeated?
Right now, honestly, I can't see they would do that. If they do, then honestly, and I'm not trying to be biased here, but the creative team is making a big mistake, because then that's also degrading Daniel Bryan's character. Because why, if somebody else comes in, and I mean, depending, if it's a well-known star,
Hmm.
even then, it would, you want to push younger talent and make younger talent look presentable, which Daniel Bryan is on the way there. But again, going back to kind of re-say what I've just said is, really everybody's thinking about Daniel Bryan and how he lost to Sheamus when they talk about Sheamus. Now, one question that I didn't answer that you asked previously about this is, what's one of his memorable title runs
Hmm.
that he had, that Sheamus had? You remember the John Cena tables match
Yeah.
where Sheamus first won the
Oh, of
WWE title?
course.
That was an amazing match. I mean, obviously Sheamus won accidentally, quote unquote, because John Cena fell on a table. But when he was a heel back then, that was amazing. Look how many people. Then Sheamus just debuted not too long prior, before that match, right? He picked up the WWE title in what, 2 months, something around
Yeah,
that
it
timeline.
was like the
And,
second fastest run of
yeah,
someone winning
and,
the
and,
title.
and exactly. And then bam, but people were like, wow, Sheamus, he means business, and he actually did make credible, memorable moments while he held that title. So, but I don't know, why they didn't repeat that with the WrestleMania 28 match with Daniel Bryan and him. Why they didn't do that, or do something similar to how maybe the John Cena and Sheamus match when Sheamus first won the WWE title.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree with you there because Sheamus. I personally love Sheamus. I was not a fan of his in the beginning, but he tend to grew on me, and when it came further down the line, because I just didn't like how they gave him the world title by way too fast. But in the end, I guess it did help him a lot. But yeah, Sheamus, I think that people are focusing more on what happened to Daniel Bryan, like you said, than Sheamus himself. But this reign, it just kind of feels like it's too Superman for me. I don't know. But thank you, Dallas, for coming. Definitely, guys, check out his channel. And if you guys have a Skype, a functional Skype with a functional mic like Dallas does, lead by his example. You guys can be on this show too. You know, I'm gonna try to do this weekly with people. Just add me on Skype. Don't barrage me. Oh, when are we doing it? I will message you. I will message you and then say, hey, these are the topics I want to talk about. Current event topics, nothing like in the way past. You know, that type of stuff. Current event. But thank you, Dallas, for coming. Any other plugs you want to give out there that I'll put in the description box?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, Chase, thank you so much for allowing me to
No
come and
problem.
speak on your channel in front of your viewers. As I said, you guys, if you have not had a chance to view Chase's previous videos, one of the very, very well-known shooters here on YouTube, please make sure to check out Chase's previous videos and stay tuned in. And as far as plugs go, you know, definitely please, if you like what you heard from me or would like to know, have any questions, comments, feedback for me, please view my channel, Calamania007. And that pretty much wraps up my plugs. I guess if you also want to check out the Wrestling Guru Society as well for other
Oh,
different
I'm definitely
videos.
putting that in there too.
And yeah, definitely. But aside from that, yeah, that's again, Chase. Just to repeat, thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show.
And no problem. And just like I said before, just add me on Skype, ChaseOliver68. I'm actually a human, guys. I actually talk to people. I'm not like some random mystical figure. I'm a human. I'm not way too popular. Just message me and I'll message you back. It's not that hard. Sometimes if I don't talk, it's because I'm on Do Not Disturb, which means Do Not Disturb. I'll message you if I want to do the video. But anyways, thank you all. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to Dallas Wrestling Guru Society. If he has a Twitter, I'll try to find that. I'm pretty sure I'm following him on Twitter. But yes, stay tuned. More videos to come. Thank you all for watching. Peace.